taking away my Wednesday 8 p.m. But it's all good. I'm turning on the chat room, and that thing looks crazy. Please come to London, Jason. All right, I am in London. Next question. Hello from Costa Rica. Ah, buenas. Jason, will you marry me? No, that's the usual. That's like the guy saying, free bird. All right, so check this out. So here's some questions. Domo fo show. What do I like the most and least about touring? Well, I mean, even right now when I'm working on the record, it's kind of like I'm touring. But touring is like going to work. But at the same time, it's like being Indiana Jones, like always being in an adventure. It's more fun for me when I'm driving, when I'm in the van, or when I'm kind of in control. I'm on foot, I'm on a bike, I'm on a skateboard. It's like, then you're touring. But if you're just in the back of the bus, I know it sounds glamorous, but if you're just in the back of the bus, you don't really get the sense of the world going by. That's more just like an elevator. You leave a building, you get in the bus, it transports you to the next place. You really kind of miss nature when you're touring. So, I don't know. You create it. You design the tour you want to have. Let's see. Cougar Jen, what new song are you most excited about performing live in the future? There's a bunch. I don't know. There's a song I like called Who's Thinking About You Now? It's just a nice little handheld ditty you can pass off to a friend. Let's see. I didn't review these questions ahead of time. Alright, can you tell me in 10 words or less how awesomely awesome your shows with DMB at Wrigley will be? The shows with DMB at Wrigley will be awesomely awesome. There you go. Peace in the asks, as you progress as a songwriter, have you noticed a change in your style or writing process? I wouldn't say it's necessarily progress as a songwriter, but the more you do something, I mean, the more ways you have going about pulling it off. You know, the more tools you feel like you might have in your toolbox, things you've acquired over the years. You know, but every time, even though you finish writing a song and you're moving on to the next one, every next song you write, you're still starting from scratch. You're still starting from nothing. So there's a moment there where, I don't know, there's nothing to measure progress because it's the same every time. It's just, you have something, you have nothing, and then you have to create a vomitous something. Hey, has your style of music changed on the new album? I don't think so. I think it's still sunshiny jauntiness. Awesomely awesome sunshine jaunt. Are there any special guests on the new album? Yes. How about just yes or no questions from now on? Marcelina asks, is there a chance you'll record some songs of the beginning of your career? Yes. Wizard of Ozma asks, to what do you attribute your unique guitar playing style? No. About life and causes. How do you view your life? Anything you would have done differently? No, I wouldn't have done anything differently. And how I view my life is borderline amazement, borderline beach bum. I view my life as a observer. Whereas one thing I recently discovered in science, the mere act of observing something on the subatomic level, mere act of observing something, that thing that which you are observing will change simply because you are observing it. Therefore, you have this ability to transform something just by you looking at it, sending a certain energy to it. So if you add thoughts to your energy and intention to your energy, then Watch out. You know, what dreams may come out of your simply observing and having powerful, positive, intentional thoughts at something. The same thing can be seen looking at Dr. Emoto's work. He's the doctor who shared with us, I don't know if he discovered it, but he certainly shared with us what happens to water molecules if you project a positive thought on it. So say I've got a glass of water and I pull out a drop and put it on a glass, and I've written love on the glass of water. So then we look at the molecule of that love-blessed water, and we'll notice that the molecule looks like a snowflake, equally symmetrical, really beautiful. But then say you have a glass of water that has like war written on it, right? You look at the molecule from that, and not surprisingly, the dish, under the microscope, the water droplet will appear unsymmetrical. It'll look more like a mangled amoeba than it will a snowflake. And the same experience can be carried out through positive words, love-filled thoughts versus negative thoughts. So what I'm saying is, I view my life as an observer, one who does my best to use positive articulation and project upon the world a place of greatness filled with nothing but people and creatures who are experiencing their own greatness. A constant rising is what the world looks like to me, and I like that. Meeting you made me smile for a whole week and meant the world to me, says MCAT_15. What impact does meeting us, the fans, have on you? Well, you know, in music, or in any artist puts something out there. When a fan and artist meet each other, when someone admires a painting and the painter's standing by and you have an opportunity to talk about it, there's the viewer, the listener, has an opportunity to hear themselves or experience themselves in the work, right? So when I meet someone, I instantly know that we have a sense of relatedness, you know, that we have something in common, that we share a similar view, that we like a similar sound. And so meeting people is a great feeling because I feel like I'm meeting people who are operating on my frequency, right? People who are like blood, people who are family. So I don't mind. You know, I've grown to really love that surprise. You know, when I make music, I don't really I don't know who exactly is going to listen. I just intend that, like, I don't know. I don't even want to get into the process because that's just bananas. Widya Nuru asks, what's the best thing about your fans in the world? Do they become an inspiration to write a song? Well, I kind of answered that in the last question. Yes, everyone becomes inspiration. You know, more recently I've been but heck, on all the records I've looked towards my family to provide some insight and inspiration, because then I get to see who I am in family, you know, who I am to them, and kind of hopefully am able to realize the situation even more and realize myself even more. Oh man, do you ever get stressed or overwhelmed? If so, how do you deal with it? Caddy's Corner. That was the jingle by Caddy's Corner. Do I ever get stressed or overwhelmed with life? Not necessarily. Not really. Like I said, by projecting upon the world, like, you know, positive thoughts, a positive picture, you know, speaking with positive articulation, then you're quick to check yourself when you get stressed. You know, like, it shows up faster for you, like, wow, why am I going this direction? And usually being stressed or overwhelmed is you kind of like